Students, today's topic is chemical equations and stoichiometric calculations. First of all, let's study what is a chemical reaction. A process in which one or more substances, which are either elements or compounds, are converted to one or more different substances. The substances which react among themselves to bring about the chemical change are known as reactants, whereas the substances which are produced as a result of the chemical change are known as products. So therefore, in a chemical reaction, reactants changes to products. Some of the examples of chemical reactions are burning of wood and burning of LPG. Now let's study what is chemical equation. It is defined as a brief representation of a chemical change in terms of symbols and formulae of substances involved in it. Let's understand it by taking an example of the manufacture of ammonia by Haber's process. Here, nitrogen plus 3 hydrogen molecules changes to 2 NH3 molecules. Nitrogen and hydrogen are reactants, whereas NH3 is a product. Thus, the chemical equation for the above reaction gives the following information. First is, from the above reaction, it is clear that one molecule of N2, that is nitrogen, in the gaseous state reacts with 3 molecules of H2, that is hydrogen, in the gaseous state to give 2 molecules of ammonia, that is NH3, in the gaseous state. Second, the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen has been carried out in the presence of iron and molybdenum, which act as a catalyst at 723 Kelvin temperature and 600 atmosphere pressure. Third is, the double-headed arrows indicates that the reaction is reversible in nature. Students, our next topic is stoichiometry of chemical reactions. So, let's study what is stoichiometry. The term stoichiometry means quantitative relationship among the reactants and the products in a reaction. For example, consider the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen to form ammonia. The stoichiometric coefficients in the equation indicates that N2 in gaseous state plus 3H2 in gaseous state changes to 2NH3, that is also in gaseous state. So from the above reaction, it is clear that one molecule of nitrogen combines with 3 molecules of hydrogen produces 2 molecules of ammonia. So if we multiply the entire equation by 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23, that is Avogadro's number, the equation becomes so as we know, the Avogadro number of entities is equivalent to 1 mole. So this means that 1 mole of nitrogen combines with 3 moles of hydrogen produces 2 moles of ammonia. So if we take molar masses into consideration, then the above equation is stated as 28 grams of nitrogen, that is the molecular weight of N2, combines with 6 gram of hydrogen produces 34 gram of ammonia, because molar mass of one molecule of ammonia is 17, so it is multiplied by 2, that is equal to 34 gram. Thus, to carry out stoichiometric calculations, the first step is to writing the chemical equation for the reaction and then balancing it. So after writing the chemical equation for a given chemical reaction, the next step is the balancing of chemical equation. A correct chemical equation must be in accordance with the law of conservation of mass, according to which the total mass of the reactants must be equal to the total mass of the products. A chemical equation which has an equal number of atoms of each element in the reactants and the products is called balanced chemical equation. The balancing of a chemical equation means to equalize the number of atoms of each element on both sides of the equation. This can be done by following methods. First is hit and trial method or trial and error method. And the second is partial equation method. Now first method to balance the chemical equation is hit and trial method or trial and error method. So first step is to write the symbols and formula of the reactants and the products in the form of a skeleton equation. So ਬੱਚਿਓ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ chemical reaction ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਸ chemical reaction ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ reactants ਤੇ products ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਿੰਬਲਸ ਤੇ ਫਾਰਮੂਲੇ ਦੇ ਆਧਾਰ ਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ Fe plus H2O changes to Fe3O4 plus H2 ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ skeletal equation ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਹੈ Now second step is if there is any elementary gas appears change it into its atomic state ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਉੱਪਰ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਤੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਟੋਮਿਕ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਣਾ ਆ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ Fe plus H2O changes to Fe3O4 plus 2H ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਨੂੰ H2 ਦੀ ਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਮਤਲਬ ਮੋਲੀਕੂਲਰ ਫਾਰਮ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ 2H ਦੀ ਫਾਰਮ 'ਚ ਲਿਖਤਾ ਹੈ ਮਤਲਬ ਦੋ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ So next step is select the formula containing maximum number of atoms and start the process of balancing. In case this method fails, then start balancing the atoms which appear minimum number of times. Here, Fe3O4 has largest number of atoms. To balance this, multiply Fe by 3 and H2O by 4 to balance iron and oxygen atoms on the reactant side. Then to balance hydrogens, multiply hydrogen atoms by 8 on the product side. So ਬੱਚਿਓ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸ ਕੰਪਾਊਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਨੋਟ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਆਫ ਐਟਮਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਪਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਉੱਪਰਲੀ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਹੈ Fe3O4 ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 3 ਆਇਰਨ ਐਟਮਸ ਆ ਤੇ 4 ਆਕਸੀਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ ਆ ਸੋ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਰਿਐਕਟੈਂਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ Fe ਨੂੰ 3 ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਵਾਟਰ ਨੂੰ 4 ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਟੂ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਆਕਸੀਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਬਣੇਗੀ 3Fe plus 4H2O changes to Fe3O4 plus 8H ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ 8H ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਏ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਰਿਐਕਟੈਂਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ 4 H2O ਮੋਲੀਕਿਊਲ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ 8 ਆ ਸੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ 8H ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਖ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ ਸੋ ਮੂਵ ਟੂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਸਟੈਪ that is once all the atoms are balanced change the equation into molecular form ਸੋ ਬੱਚੋ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਸਟੈਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਗੈਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਟੋਮਿਕ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਮੋਲੀਕੂਲਰ ਫਾਰਮ ਮਤਲਬ ਐਲੀਮੈਂਟਰੀ ਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਨੂੰ ਐਟੋਮਿਕ ਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ 8H ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆਏ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੋਲੀਕੂਲਰ ਫਾਰਮ 'ਚ ਲਿਖਾਂਗੇ ਮਤਲਬ 8 ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ ਦੇ 4 ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਮੋਲੀਕਿਊਲਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣੇਗੀ 3Fe plus 4H2O changes to Fe3O4 plus 4H2 so the last step is to verify that the number of atoms of each element is balanced or not in a final equation. The second method to balance the chemical equation is the partial equation method. So let's illustrate the steps involved with an example of reaction between zinc and nitric acid. So first of all we have to write the skeleton equation जो जिंक ते नाइट्रिक एसिड की स्कैलेटल इक्वेशन असीं पहलां लिखांगे उहदे सिंबल्स ते फॉर्मूलिਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ Zn plus HNO3 changes to zinc nitrate ZnNO3 twice plus N2O plus H2O. ये साडे कोल आ गई एक skeleton equation. Now second step is the given chemical reaction is supposed to divided into partial equations. ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉੱਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਕੈਮੀਕਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੋ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਦਲ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ. So our first partial is zinc plus HNO3 changes to ZnNO3 twice, that is zinc nitrate, plus 2H, that is 2 atomic hydrogen. And second partial equation is HNO3 combines with atomic hydrogen changes to N2O plus H2O. So बच्चों इस तरह साडे कोल दो पार्शल इक्वेशनस ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਆ ਉਹ ਆ ਗਈਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ पहली इक्वेशन ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ दो पार्शल इक्वेशनस ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ अलग-अलग करता. So let's move to next step, that is balance the partial equations separately by hit and trial method. So in our first partial equation, as there are two NO3 ions on the product side as ZnNO3 twice. So to balance these two NO3 ions, multiply the HNO3 on the reactant side by 2, and the balanced partial equation is Zn plus 2HNO3 changes to ZnNO3 twice plus 2H. So in the second partial equation, first we have to balance the nitrogen atoms. On the product side there is N2O, that means 2 nitrogen atoms. So multiply the HNO3 by 2 on the reactant side. Then after that balance the oxygen atoms by multiplying water by 5. So on both sides 6 oxygen atoms are there. And after that balance the hydrogen atoms by multiplying 8 with H on the reactant side. So our balanced second partial equation becomes 2HNO3 plus 8H changes to N2O plus 5H2O. So move to next step. Multiply the first partial equation by 4 in order to balance out hydrogen atoms in the two equations, since they do not appear in the final equation. So बच्चों इस स्टैप ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਨੋਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਮੇਨ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਐਟੋਮਿਕ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ, ਐਟੋਮਿਕ ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਆ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਮੂਵ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਸਟ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ 4 ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਲਟੀਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 8 ਹਾਈਡਰੋਜਨ ਐਟਮਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਆ ਜਾਣਗੇ. ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਐਂਡ ਫਾਈਨਲੀ ਐਡ ਦਾ ਟੂ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਐਡ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਪਾਰਸ਼ਲ ਇਕੁਏਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ. So the first partial equation is Zn plus 2HNO3 changes to ZnNO3 twice plus 2H, multiplied the whole equation by 4, and second is 2HNO3 plus 8H changes to N2O plus 5H2O. So after that cancel out the atomic hydrogens in both the reactions, and finally add the two partial equations. Our final balanced chemical equation is 4Zn plus 10HNO3 changes to 4 ZnNO3 twice plus N2O plus 5H2O. So after balancing, let's study stoichiometric calculations. It requires application of mole concept, balancing of chemical equations, and care in the conversion of units. These can be classified as, first is the mole to mole relationship. So in these problems, the moles of one of the reactants or products is to be calculated and that of the others reactants or products are given. So let's study by doing a numerical problem, which is how many moles of nitrogen are needed to produce 8.2 moles of ammonia by reaction with hydrogen. So first of all, we have to write the balanced chemical equation, which is N2 in gaseous state plus 3H2 in gaseous state changes to 2NH3, which is also in the gaseous state. So as we know, 1 mole of nitrogen is required to produce 2 moles of ammonia. So how many moles of nitrogen are required to produce 8.2 moles of ammonia? That is our numerical. So 2 moles of ammonia are produced from 1 mole of nitrogen and 8.2 moles of ammonia are produced from how many moles of nitrogen? That is 1 by 2 multiplied by 8.2. That is 4.1 mole of nitrogen. So one numerical I am giving for your practice is how many moles of iron can be made from Fe2O3 by the use of 16 moles of carbon monoxide in the reaction. The reaction is Fe2O3 plus 3CO changes to 2Fe plus 3CO2. So let's move to second relationship, that is mass to mass relationship or mole to mass relationship. So in these problems, the mass of one of the reactants or products is to be calculated if that of the other reactants or products are given. So let's do by solving a numerical problem. How many moles of methane are required to produce 22 gram of carbon dioxide after combustion? So first of all, we have to write the balanced chemical equation of the combustion of methane. So it is CH4 in gaseous state plus 2O2 in gaseous state changes to carbon dioxide plus 2 water molecules. So from the above balanced equation, it is clear that 1 mole of methane on combustion gives 2 moles of water. If we equate the molar masses of all the reactants and products, then we have 16 gram of methane when combines with 64 grams of oxygen gives 44 gram of carbon dioxide and 36 grams of water. So by applying unitary method, we know 44 gram of carbon dioxide is produced by 16 gram of methane, that is 1 mole of methane. So 22 grams of carbon dioxide is produced by how many moles of methane? That comes out to be 1 divided by 44 gram multiplied by 22. That comes out to be 0.5 moles of methane. So here are some numericals which you have to try by yourself. First is calculate the amount of water in grams produced by combustion of 16 gram of methane. And second is what mass of calcium oxide will be obtained by heating 3 mole of calcium carbonate. Our next relationship is mass to volume relationship. So let's understand by doing one numerical problem. 5.6 liters of methane gas is ignited in oxygen gas. Calculate the number of moles of carbon dioxide formed. So first of all, we have to write the balanced chemical equation, which is CH4 in gaseous state plus 2O2 in gaseous state changes to carbon dioxide plus 2 water molecules. So from the above equation, it is clear that 22.4 liters of methane gas at STP on combustion gives 1 mole of carbon dioxide gas, and 5.6 liters of methane gas on combustion gives how many moles of carbon dioxide? This we have to find out. So by applying unitary method, as we know, 22.4 liter of methane on combustion give 1 mole of carbon dioxide, and 5.6 liters of methane on combustion gives how many moles of carbon dioxide? That is 1 divided by 22.4 multiplied by 5.6 liter. That comes out to be 0.25 moles of carbon dioxide gas. So the numerical which you have to try yourself is what volume of oxygen at NTP required to completely burn 0.96 kilogram of sulfur. So our last relationship is volume-volume relationship. So in this we have to equate the volumes of reactants or products at STP with each other. So let's understand by doing a numerical problem. Calculate the volume of oxygen at NTP that would be required to convert 5.2 liters of carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide. So first of all, write a balanced chemical equation. 2CO plus O2 changes to 2CO2. So as we know, from the above balanced equation, 2 moles of carbon monoxide combines with 1 mole of oxygen. Or we can say that 2 multiplied by 22.4 liters of gas, carbon monoxide gas, combines with 22.4 liters of oxygen. So by applying unitary method, the volume of oxygen required to convert 2 into 22.4 liter of carbon monoxide, that is 22.4 liter, and volume of oxygen required to convert 5.2 liters of carbon monoxide is equal to how many liters of oxygen? That is 22.4 liter divided by 2 into 22.4 multiplied by 5.2 liter. That comes out to be 2.6 liters of oxygen gas. So in try yourself, what volume of oxygen at STP is required to effect complete combustion of 100 cubic centimeters of acetylene? So here hint is there, 2C2H2, that is acetylene, plus 5O2 changes to 4CO2 plus 2H2O. I have given some numericals here to practice. Hope you all will be able to do. Looking forward for your good answers. Thanks for watching.